This is the Barbados Today evening news for Friday, June 30th. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. As of tomorrow, Barbadians will have to dig a little deeper in their pockets to pay for various goods. That's when the National Social Responsibility Levy will be increased from 2 to 10%. This was one of the austerity measures announced by Finance Minister Chris Sinclair in his budget address last month. President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Eddie Abed, explains to Barbados Today how retailers are expected to roll out the increase in the NSRL.
We expected initially the only increase we should see is on petroleum products. As far as the increase in NSRL goes, really is dependent on how soon the various retail companies rotate their inventory. I can assure you that all of our members at the Chamber of Commerce have indicated that they're not going to increase any prices until they replace their inventory. Supermarket stores tend to replace their inventory every 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. So we expect that you'll start to see increased prices at supermarkets from the 2nd to the 3rd week of July. General merchandise stores tend to replace their goods anywhere between a 30 to 90-day cycle. So again, you will see increases then. Larger ticket items, I would think that the replacement is probably going to be 3 to 4 months.
Meanwhile, manager of Cape Shepherd, Mark Clark, says customers have been trying to beat the July 1st implementation date.
So far during the week, we've had customers entering the store, purchasing items before the effect, which is the July 1st. But I must say for our school department, which is the school clothes and the pages, we are not going to be increasing the prices on those items. And for the other items in store, that's a work in progress.
Finance Minister Sinclair has said that items in the basic baskets of goods will be exempt from the NSRL. However, economist Ryan Strawn says the required legislation has not been brought to Parliament to enforce the exemption, making it the law of the land. In a statement issued this afternoon, Strawn argues that until this is done, distributors and retailers are under no obligation to keep the items at their current prices. He charges that even if or when the appropriate legislation is in place, residents will still have to endure a steep rise in the cost of living. And the island's major trade unions today announced that they are joining forces to take action against the increased tax. Shop stewards are scheduled to meet on July 6 to determine their next course of action.
In the interim, however, the unions will jointly fashion correspondence to the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, and independent members of Parliament, again outlining our position and recommending an acceptable response as we attempt to move forward on this matter. We are hoping that common sense and caring will prevail and that concern for the financial well-being and social stability of members of this society will override purely fiscal considerations that, if they are enforced, will redound to the destruction of our society.
In other news this evening, residents in some South Coast communities are again appealing for a permanent solution to recurring sewage problems. Residents in Rendezvous and Worthing say the issue resurfaced this week during the heavy rainfall. Barbados Today understands that teams from the Barbados Water Authority were dispatched to clean up effluents in the vicinity of Gentle Breeze Apartments. This was one of the worst affected properties during last year's major spill that wreaked havoc on the South Coast. Business persons are complaining that Health Minister John Boyce had promised to construct a runoff canal to deal with the problem, but has so far failed to fulfill his promise. Sports now. Grantley Adams Memorial School are the champions of the inaugural A1 Supermarket Berger Paints Rubis National Secondary School's Under-15 road tennis competition. Playing at the Rubis Sports Club this morning, Grantley Adams defeated the Frederick Smith School in straight sets in the team competition and both the girls and boys individual championships. Grantley Adams' team of Corey Hoyt and Kevin Wickham eased past Terry Walcott and Kishon Francis of Frederick Smith 21-9 and 21-14. Meanwhile, Zalia Campbell, also of Grantley Adams, defeated Springer Memorial's Andranique Straker 2-1, winning 21-18 and 21-18. 2018. When it was the turn of the boys, Corey Hoyt did the double over Terry Walcott after first beating him in the team competition and then in the individuals 21-14, 21-11.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for one year, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody ain't want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back now with news from the region. The St. Lucia government is assuring motorists that an additional $1.50 increase in excise tax on gas will not result in a significant increase at the pumps. This came from the minister in the Ministry of Finance, Senator Ubaldus Raymond, during yesterday's Senate sitting.
The excise tax will go up, will move from $2.50 to $4. It's a fact, the excise tax. But in terms of the price of fuel from period to period, may not necessarily increase by $1.50. Understand what I'm saying here? Let me explain it. For example, Mr. President, let's say that the price of fuel, the price of gasoline is $10. One may say that because of the increase of the excise tax, it will now be $11.50. Okay? But there is another factor in the price of the fuel, of gas. You have the adjustments, the fuel adjustments. And that is based on the international prices, the prior 3-week period.
And finally, a gunman opened fire at a New York City hospital today in a burst of violence that injured several people and left the suspect dead. Local media reported that at least 3 doctors were among the wounded at the Bronx Lebanon Hospital Center. State Assemblyman Michael Blake told a local TV station, NY1, that the assailant was said to be armed with what appeared to be an M16 assault rifle. That's the evening news. You can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can find us on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We are also on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Mary Claire Williams. Have a good evening.